So we've arrived at that pre-race moment that we love, the build-up to these major races, the Golden Slipper. So here at Rosehill Gardens, the trophies come into the mounting yard. See Grace behind him, Grace Hayden there as well. So Muncie, of course, he's won all the majors. What a jockey he was. Because with Dance Hero, they got the Triple Crown for Gay Waterhouse. And speaking of jockeys, let's hear what the great jockeys and 7 commentators say about the Golden Slipper.
The Golden Slipper, the richest 2-year-old race in the world.
Everybody's got the dream. It's now worth $5 million.
2-year-olds are off.
It's sexy, it's fast, it's flash.
It's a enthralling race because it's over in a flash.
A full field, 1,200 metres at Rosehill, 2-year-olds. You never know what's going to happen.
Not fun right along the rail as well from Earthquake.
It's a stallion maker, it's a broodmare maker.
It's the toughest test. It's really difficult to get a 2-year-old to a Golden Slipper.
To do it on a Darley bred 2-year-old was a fantastic thrill.
He's going to absolutely blitz them. Seapoy wins the slipper.
For a kid growing up, to win a Golden Slipper is pretty special.
Coming through is Fireburn and gives Gary Portelli second Golden Slipper.
My mum and my grandfather have had so much success in that race.
Piero drove through, took the lead in the slipper.
So it brings back so many amazing memories.
Farner was a dominant favourite.
And Farnan, another one for Gay Waterhouse.
Dominated and won with authority, and it was one of the best feelings I've had on a race course.
Yeah, it's a cool race to ride and it's really dash for cash for sure.
For now, since only 57, being the championship 2-year-old race of this country and the world.
It's one of our 4 great majors. There's something really special about the Slipper.
So all that history descends, doesn't it, on Rosehill Gardens today? So half a dozen of the jockeys. There's Huey, there's James. They've both won one before. They'd love to get a second one. Could ride more to it here. I mean, that would be remarkable. Zara hasn't got one of these. He's got a Melbourne Cup, though, hasn't he? So, and Abdalla's got a couple. McAvoy's got one. Nash has got one. Gay's got 7.
Turning, this is the hope. Those horses that are stuck wide through the outside barriers and being unlucky, I think you just need to ride them a little bit how James McDonald did on Animo and not panic and keep them nice and settled the best that they can before entering into the home straight. And this is where the moves start happening. A lot of horses will be, and especially 2-year-olds, they seem to run around a lot, so it's best that the best jockeys can try and keep them nice and straight, and that's probably the best chance of them winning. But it's a beautiful track to ride.
Where do you want to be today, though?
I think you want to be sort of coming down the middle.
Okay, we'll watch for that.
Straight.
Richo, I'm going to start with you. Blue Diamond winner. They've kept him nice and fresh, Little Rose.
And when you have a look at Vince Accardi's daily sectional times, this is the highest rating 2-year-old we've seen for the entire season. If you're about facts and figures, this guy can measure up. Now, there's a lot of chat around here about this track being a good 4 and not being upgraded, being closer to a soft track. Won't be a worry for him.
Lizzie Barber, James Cummings talked about the fact that he had a little nick or something when he got here.
Yeah, that's right, Bruce. Look, I had a look at him. There doesn't seem to be anything too wrong with him. He was looked at by the vets, but he is a horse that has got immense talent. If you go back to his Blue Diamond preview, he's definitely a horse that could be competitive in a slipper. I think he presents nicely. A good change of scenery will do him the world of good, and he's definitely not out of this.
Arkansas Kid was very good in the Blue Diamond. He's only had one run that you'd say was below par. He's in with a chance, and JD Hayes and Ben have been talking for years. Don Corleone, Caitlin.
Yeah, he's a colt by Extreme Choice, and they paid a lot of money for him, $650,000 from the Magic Millions, and he has not let them down. He's a really nice colt here, and I loved his run in the Blue Diamond where he was narrowly beaten without a lot of luck. So he comes back, he's nice and fit, and I think he's a great chance.
Lizzie, Cylinder's got the perfect form. Silver Slipper Todman.
He has. Well, 14 of the slipper winners have come via the Todman, and the latest was Stay Inside. And there's a little bit about Stay Inside about this guy. He's got such a progressive profile. He's beautifully relaxed. I call him a ready-made 2-year-old, and that's exactly how he presents in the yard, like he's absolutely bomb-proof. He's doing everything right, Bruce, and so is the next horse, Shinzo. He did a great job last time out, hitting the line strongly by being ridden patiently. He looks as though he's backed up perfectly. He's He's got the master, Ryan Moore, on board, and I would hazard a guess that he is going to be right in this finish.
Richo, in early October, King's Gambit laid a claim on the Golden Slipper, didn't he?
And that was at Caulfield. That was extraordinary. And then he's had a couple of little flat ones, but they're trained by the masters in peaking them on the grand final, and that trial was breathtaking. He went from not in my calculations to second pick.
Gee, he's in a muck lather, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's
Lizzie,
doing worse
I might go back to you, Lizzie. Have you seen King's Gambit? He is absolutely...
Yeah, look, I've seen him a lot of times. This, to me, is what lets him down. I know he runs great sectionals. I know he's a horse that has got an immense talent. But at this level, can you really parade like this? I don't think so.
So there's Empire Japan. Back to you, Lizzie, learning to fly, the unbeaten.
Yeah, and this is a complete opposite. She's an absolute professional. Yes, she does look as though she's going to strengthen and get physically stronger next preparation, but she's unbeaten. She has the will to win. She presents and conserves her energy. This is what you want to see a 2-year-old doing.
Platinum Jubilee. She's also a high-quality filly, Caitlin.
Yeah, she is. And the blinkers go on today, so she's drawn a little bit of a tricky barrier. I'd imagine that she'll be forward with the 54.5 kilos. Timmy Clark will rate her perfectly. Of course, she won the Gym Crack back in the spring, and then this preparation, so she's fourth up into this, and she hasn't been far away from the likes of Cylinder, Skirt the Law and Fire Lane, so she's got to be a good chance.
And for Gay, Blanc de Blanc, Richo, another bad draw.
Yeah, and that's the issue, isn't it? We spoke to Michael Freeman. He said, but one good thing is, unlike the lead-up races, good speed on. She can settle back. She's got the superstar jockey who's taken Japan by storm in Damien Lane. She can run really well. Gee, I think this is a good roughie. James Cummings said she basically picked herself into this race. She's been training on really well, exploring.
No jockey this century has won consecutive Golden Slippers. You've got to go back to Shane Dye. He won 4 in a row, but no jockey since those 1995 period has won 2 in a row. That's Brenton Avdallah. Is Lazago, what about her? I mean, those colours we've seen to the fore today.
Yeah, of course, Debbie Kapitas and her family. She was a brilliant winner of the Sweet Embrace at Group 2 level. Loved her fight there, of course, coming out of the same race as Fireburn, who won the slipper last year out of the Sweet Embrace. Look, she's got to be some sort of chance. Karen McAvoy and Chris Waller team up.
Lizzie, how does Still City back up after what was a bit of a gut buster last week?
It was a gut buster, Bruce. Look, she's got the draw that's against her. She backs up quite well, just a little bit warm around her flank area. 7 slipper winners have come via the Magic Night, the latest being Kiyomichi, but that was on a wet track and she doesn't get those types of conditions today.
And the Emergency gets a run, militarised. Richo, can you make a statement for him? He was third in the Topman at $26.
Yeah, I think more of a size horse, but why wouldn't you have a run? You've got a slot into the slipper. You've got to give it a go.
Good stuff. Let's go to the tab. Not many more important throws than this, Ben. It's Golden Slipper time. I want your pick of the yard for the Golden Slipper.
It's more like a rock concert out here, I must admit, Bruce, but who cares? We're about to see the Golden Slipper being run. Learning to Fly goes on top. Just her professionalism. She outdoes a lot of these horses in this field, but I must say Cylinder probably paraded just as well as her. Shinzo got a tick as well, and I also have to mention Little Bros, an absolute star in the yard, but hopefully it's going to go to one of these 2 fancied horses, Learning to Fly and Cylinder.
Well, you've given favourite punters some confidence, Lizzie. That's what we wanted to know. Richo, I've got no idea where you are and who you're with, but it's all yours.
I'm with Annabelle Neesham, who is nervous beyond nervous. You'll be right, mate. You'll be right. You've done all the hard work, and your filly looks an absolute treat. Well done.
Yeah, she's paraded really well. She's nice and relaxed on such a hot day. That's so important. Yeah, the nerves are certainly there. I think it'd be abnormal not to be a race of this magnitude, but just feel very privileged to be in a position of having a horse with such a live chance in what I think is Sydney's greatest race.
And the thing that I think everyone at home would like to know, how do you think she is now leading into what we've seen the other 2 or 3 races?
think she's just as good, if not better. I thought at Randwick she was a bit buzzy at a saddle than normal. She was a bit calmer today. But all in all, she's had such a smooth preparation. And this is probably, who knows, because it's a horse race, but this looks like it's going to map how we want to ride her for the first time. Last time we didn't really want to lead, and I don't think it's her natural pattern, but hopefully today, a high pressure race, she can just sit off them a bit and do the chasing and hopefully have her head in front at the right time.
When you put the head on the pillow last night, did you dream of winning it?
Yeah, I think every night for the last week I have. I'm not going to lie, but look, there's a lot of good horses in the field. There's a lot of trainers that have won several slippers and know how to prepare them, so I think it's going to be no easy task, but certainly leading into this, I wouldn't swap her for anything else.
Mate, good luck. Good luck. Go and find a vantage point and calm down.
Thank you very much.
What a wonderful moment for Annabelle, with all the nerves. Ben, from the tab, a hot horse for the 2023 Golden Slipper Stakes.
So when we last spoke, Bruce, a couple of minutes ago, there was nothing separating Learning to Fly and Cylinder in terms of money held. Now, Cylinder is the best backed runner, and pretty clearly so. So that is our hot horse. If you're looking for one at odds that's had some financial support, Little Bros would probably be the one.
So Cylinder, the hot horse. There's a hot horse on screen at the moment, Caitlin, King's Gambit.
Yeah, he gets himself so worked up. Of course, when we saw him in the trial, he was incredible. He could relax and just power through. That's what he can't do race day. Hopefully he can put it all together today, but just the way that he parades, you just think that he's run his race before the actual event, but a very, very talented horse. I think this is going to be one of the best slippers I've seen in a long time, Bruce. This every single horse that you can make a case for, and I think Shinzo. I'm with the colt by Snitzel. He's out of Sama Reddy, who was a brilliant mare. Of course, she was placed in a slipper to Piero, so he's bred to be anything. He won last week and he won well. So Ryan Moore for me.
Lizzie, it does feel like it's one of the great Golden Slipper Stakes, doesn't it?
It certainly does, Bruce. I think because there's so many chances and there's so many horses that haven't actually met each other, that's what makes it so intriguing. And you couldn't be deterring from a lot of horses in this parade. The top ones really presented nicely. Little Bros, of course, Learning to Fly looked great, and so did Cylinder. So it's really going to be very tough, and who gets the best run in transit?
Richo, last thought?
Oh, it's a great race. The atmosphere is extraordinary. Cylinder's been the one that they have to beat. King's Gambit's melting, but he might be able to overcome it. And if there's a complete blowout, it might be a filly right towards the bottom called Exploring.
So a couple to come in. We've seen two world-class horses in the last hour here win two Group 1s. It's not hyperbole to say this is the World Championship for two-year-olds. There is no race that has as much money or has such an effect and impact and a flow on than this, the Golden Slipper. Here we go, 2023 version.
Away for a start. Cylinder is the favourite, and they're ready, and the gates are back, they're off, and Learning to Fly's missed the kick. She's second last, and jumping very swiftly, Arkansas Kid wide out with Platinum Jubilee. Exploring's right on the scene. Steel City settles in fourth, and Cylinder pushing through on the rails. Blanc de Blanc's pretty handy to the leading division, followed then by Don Corleone. Shinzo's whipping up on the rails. They're followed after 2 lengths to Empire of Japan, getting up on the inside of Little Bros. King's Gambit in a 3-wide position. Further back to Barber, Learning to Fly, third last from Lazargo, and Militarized is last of all. Just the rider of Learning to Fly, full of drama for her. Chad Schofield's come down over at the 600 metre mark. Shinzo on the rails as they straighten up, and at big odds Exploring shows the way. On the outside, Arkansas Kid, Cylinder Ruse up on the inside, hard on the inside, Shinzo starting to run on. Cylinder takes the lead of the 200 from Shinzo giving chase. Cylinder, Shinzo, and right down the outside with a big run later, coming home hard, King's Gambit, but Shinzo and Ryan Moore have drawn clear to win the Golden Slipper. Shinzo beats Cylinder, King's Gambit third, Don Corleone fourth, and Empire Japan. Further back to Arkansas Kid from Little Bros. Then came Blanc de Blanc from Barber, a gap to Exploring from Steel City, Platinum Jubilee, Militarized, and we lost the rider of Learning to Fly, full of drama for her. Chad Schofield's come down.
He's confirmed that today, Bruce, just describing you as a genius, a racing genius, mate. And this was the final piece of the puzzle you need, and you've been able to do it.
I want to thank this guy. He's an amazing strength to me. And we haven't killed ourselves to win it, but it means a lot to us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Talking about Charlie Duckworth. Charlie, describe everything that you guys have done together to get to this moment.
Look, obviously, long hours and testing times and struggles all along the way, but it's just plenty of laughs. I think we sort of ride off each other pretty well, and it's just a privilege to be involved and to be dragged over. His first Golden Slipper winner, and he thinks he wants to pull me into the interview.
Come here, mate. What did Steph just come up and say to you?
She couldn't talk. Yeah, so that's what it means. She's been a great strength to me, and like Charlie, Steph, she's a great strength, and she's got my back the whole 365 days a year.
This was the one that you really wanted, though. I mean, you've been able to win cups and win plates and train a freak, but just needed this one.
Yeah, they're all special, honestly. They're all so special. I'm more privileged to be where I am.
I can see how much it means to you. 100 metres out, did you believe?
I thought we were going to win it.
Yeah. And once again, you always hide away from the cameras. We've got no vision of you watching Winx, no vision of you winning a cup, no vision of you winning a slipper.
Let's keep it that way. Yeah. I appreciate modern day sport, and you want to see coaches and things like that. It's good to have a bit of space.
Brilliant stuff, mate. We're so happy for you. Great stuff.
Thanks.
Slept in the back of his car when he first came to Australia. He and Steph did it so hard. It's one of the great sporting stories in Australian sport, without any question. The New Zealander coming here. Lizzie, we collect our thoughts. I know you're going to talk to the jockey in a moment, Ryan Moore. I mean, it's just quite remarkable what Ryan's done here today. Zach Purton a couple of weeks ago, Lizzie, and now Ryan Moore today.
He truly is an international Duke 1 jockey. We don't need to sort of mince our words in that, but what he's been able to do today, come here and win 2 feature races, I think it just adds to his tally and adds to how amazing jockey he is. He is a world-class athlete. He heads to Hong Kong after today's engagement. And I want to know how high up on the list it is winning a Golden Slipper, because this means an awful lot to Coolmore. And as his retained rider, I'm sure it would mean an awful lot to him, Bruce.
No, it's incredible, Lizzie. I mean, for Coolmore, this is massive. And look, to a sideshow, for John Massara too, for Schnitzel, to get a second Golden Slipper winner. I mean, his great sire that's followed in reduced choice. This is the ripple. Have a look at this. I was going to say, that's a tsunami wave. That's not a ripple. But this is the ripple effect from the slipper. Yeah. It just reaches so far.
And so much work goes into these horses, and you can see, to eventually get to the day and have them all in one piece and to get this result, it's huge for Coolmore. And of course, he's just a beautifully bred horse. I loved him. I loved his win in the Pago, and the last horse to do that double was Stratum back in 2005, the Pago Slipper. So he also stood at stud.
Lizzie, down to you. You've got Ryan Moore.
Yeah, I do have Ryan Moore. I'm very happy, Ryan Moore. You've been able to come here and win Melbourne Cups. This Golden Slipper means an awful lot to an Australian here. I'm sure it means a lot to you, teaming up with a team that you are so very close to.
Yeah, no, look, absolutely. And growing up, the Golden Slipper was always one of the big races that everyone knew all around the world. And maybe times have changed, but it was always the premier race in New South Wales, and I was very fortunate. I was able to get on. Like Tom called me last week, about this time last week, and asked if I'd like to come down. And if it wasn't for Tom asking, then I wouldn't have been here. And he won well last week. He's a very talented colt. He's got a super attitude. Lovely, big, strong, long striding horse. I'm sure he's going to be better when he goes up and trip, and we're lucky. We got a nice draw. I was able to follow Cylinder through, and it all just went beautifully for us. And I'm just fortunate I had the horse, and obviously Chris has obviously brought him along for today, So it all worked out, and I was just lucky to be asked to come.
I look at him sometimes, Ryan, and I always think he's going to be even better next preparation. He's got such a big frame to fill into. Do you think that?
Oh yeah, no doubt. He's not I'm sure he's not just an out-and-out 6 furlong sprinter. You know, he's going to be more comfortable when he gets over more ground, and it feels like he's improving, and he'll continue to improve, and all being well, we have a good future.
Well, hopefully we get you back down here again. Well done.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
A lot more to play out here. Chad Schofield learning to fly, etc. Coolmore first and one failed to finish. Over to you, Emma and Emily. It's been remarkable here, and you've got the All-Star Mile.
We do. $5 million up for grabs here, Bruce. It is the All-Star Mile for 2023. We'll take you in the yard.